Sounds painful.
It's just me, to be honest.
You're just me. No, I'm kidding.
I can be on occasion. I am a chef.
Fair.
Fucking donkeys!
Fucking donkeys. What are you? An idiot sandwich.
What an idiot sandwich chef! My dream in life is to be told to fuck off by Gordon Ramsay. It'll be a good day when that happens.
That is a manageable dream, you know that, right?
Yeah, I know. It's an easy dream. I just need to meet him. Oh yeah, can you tell me to fuck off?
You could probably just tell him something stupid and he'll tell it to fuck off.
Oh yeah, I think that Jamie Oliver's a good chef.
American pancakes are better than the UK ones. And be like, oh, fuck off.
All right.
Or you could just do the oh yeah, Jamie Oliver's a better chef than you. He's not even a fucking chef.
Alright.
Are you back?
Yes, he is.
Oh, I didn't think he'd have a computer though.
No problem. All right.
Oh yes.
No, yeah, we come back right into pretty much you guys were interested in questioning these individuals, separating the bandits from the other more fanatic culting people. And as the rain kind of clears, what's the plan? Who's taking the lead here?
Me and Dave will do the talking. Helos, you do the intimidating because you're big and strong.
Scary.
And X can intimidate as well because racism.
Valid? I mean, I'm a half-orc, so...
Oh, but you're too sweet.
Oh, thank you.
We're just having this conversation in front of them.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Alexander. Yeah.
They're like looking up wide-eyed. Some of them, one of them's like crying. You can see like the sobs racking his shoulders.
Oh, stop crying. Stop being such a bitch. You chose this. So, my bandit friends, what the fuck's going on with you guys? Why are you here? Why are you attacking things? Who's your leaders? Where do you come from? Just give me the download.
Okay, so they look around at each other. You can see kind of the ones in the back staring daggers. But these guys don't look as strong as Hart as the other two, and one of them at the very least. We were just hires. We just sell swords. Come from the local towns. We work for Mr. Grimjaw up at Riverguard Keep.
Oh, right, I heard about that. By any chance, is there a guy in stone armor there? Or when was the last time you were back there, more specifically? It has been a week, a day?
It's been about a day and a half.
Yeah, so we were chasing this guy about 2 days ago, in stone armor, real fanatic looking. He was heading in that general direction. I'm just wanting to know, did you see him at all?
No, we don't deal with anyone by the sounds of that.
What about that guy covered in barnacles?
Yeah, those guys are crazy. You worship the ocean, keep talking about some creature in the deep that's going to come and flood the land. I mean, but the pay is good. It's up front. Just trying to do a bit of extra work.
Notice something. We're playing Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. There's people that want to flood the world, there's people that want more land.
That is... Okay.
So what are you being asked to do? Just terrorize the locals?
We were told to get valuables and bring as much back as we can. Tributes or I don't know what they're using it for, but we get our pay on time.
So they're raising money for something.
Their god is
And that can't be good.
Give it like a bake sale.
Yeah, it would be a more effective way to, honestly. And also, you don't risk the chance of us killing you, like your friend over there. He points towards the reload that he shot. Like,
They're rather
So-
looking at the other sellsword that was decapitated by Helios. He's still kind of just standing by the body.
oh god, there's another dead one. And that guy, yeah, we totally meant to kill him as well. So, your boss, is he just a bandit? Did he just send people out to do banditry things with other people, or does he just accept any contract?
One of them kind of looks at the others. There's like something he wants to say. He's not really sure how to. The others kind of look down. I don't know what he is, but I don't think he's a normal person.
You don't think he's a normal person?
No, I swear.
What, does he have two fucking heads or something?
I was walking past the kind of the main where his bedroom is, the main building, and it's just the sound of his pigs screaming, squealing. I crept a bit closer, trying not to be seen. I saw something, the outline at least, a silhouette of some kind of large, strange, tusked. Some of the guards came and I got out of there sharpish. I don't really know what I saw.
That went in a much better direction than I thought it was going to go. So he's some sort of monster. Or he has a pet monster. Or he's sleeping with a monster.
I mean, we wouldn't look at you see him during the days. Just a bit of a fat man with a bad attitude.
Could he just do a check to see if he would hear of a monster that can change their skin?
Maybe it's
yep.
like
Arcana,
how do you say that?
Appropriate.
No, he doesn't know. He's like, probably a bad case of gout.
Maybe he harbors some kind of monster in the room.
Yeah. Maybe a lycanthrope instead of you say the word fuck.
Lycanthrope, yeah.
A werewolf or something.
Is it only on full moons?
I mean, this guy just saw it happen once.
Is it true? Was it a full moon? No.
He doesn't know.
Don't you keep track of the moons? Come on, man. It's basic college to always keep track of the moons.
No, he's a Sagittarius. He lives a bit more wild.
Oh, that's such a Sagittarius. Well, not like me, a Virgo.
So, did you guys gag the other two?
Yes, I
think
did
only
get.
this.
We did get the.
And have you ungagged the commoners at this point?
I think that's untying them and getting them all sorted.
Okay. Well, they'll start off thanking you briefly, tell you that they were traveling from Womford to Redlock when they were waylaid. Shouldn't have traveled so
Oh, yeah.
Redlock.
Those buddies over there, are those your friends or are they some other randoms?
They nod solemnly. Yeah, they saw them get murked.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Why were they keeping you guys alive?
They shrug. They are not sure.
Why are you keeping them alive?
Asking the bandits?
Yeah.
We were
You
told
know?
to bring some of the travelers that we robbed back to the keep. I'm not sure what we're going to do with them. I swear.
Great cannibalism. Long Island pork, delicious. You look. He's got to walk away from the bandits now and go up to the commons. It's like, you guys, do you think you guys are good to go the rest of your journey the next day?
Looks around. We would like to see if we could maybe get some of. It looks like our wagon's been emptied. Some of the goods we were traveling with.
Oh, that's fine. I'm talking about. Do you feel safe to travel tomorrow by yourselves?
If we push hard, we could get there before sundown. Safe enough during the day. We shouldn't have traveled so close to sundown. I think that was our mistake.
Yeah. Otherwise, they can travel back to Womford with us and try it another day.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't think Womford's a safe place to go.
I mean, they're ready like a day out of Womford.
Make sure you entomb your friends properly.
Not, they're gonna start going through. I mean, unless you tell them to wait, they're gonna start going through the tents for their stuff.
He's
Well,
not time to.
I think it's nighttime now, so they'd probably just want to. Are you guys gonna stay here at this camp?
Yeah, we brought over our.
They would ask if
Caravan.
they should have tents that were stolen. If they could find those, they could just set up next to you guys here.
That's fine for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
They'll do that.
He's going to go up to the cultist and the other reaper, and he's going to first ungag the reaper and goes, "So, what's up? How's it going?"
This figure spits in your face. A bit of blood.
Rude, first of all, and unsanitary. So what you doing here?
Smiles as she looks up at you. And yeah, definitely a cultist. You can see this crazed look over her face. Bringing in the new age
And that is the age of.
the ocean.
Does this ocean have a name?
Just smiles.
Gary the Ocean, gotcha. So, Gary the Ocean, how are you planning to bring him into this world? Do you know? Or use just some meathead they managed to convert to their side?
She glances sideways at the figure next to her before looking up. I am an anointed. I am one of the chosen.
Who is going to be turned into mermaids or just drown a bit later on?
She just tilts her head, looking at you, smiles once more, as if it's obvious and you're foolish for not knowing. She doesn't deign to explain it to you, though.
Can I make sure they're not keep an eye on the ropes, make sure they're not trying to escape?
Helios, can you
Yep.
take this lady up back with me? Well, having a cultist alive is a bit dangerous, to be honest.
Can you repeat that? We were cutting out for me.
Ah, Alexander's just asking Helios to, take her out back like old Yellow.
Why would I take her out back when I just kill her here?
Well, commoners, man. Commoners. Time to play.
Just tell them to cover their ears and turn around.
I'm just gonna walk up to.
He's like, commoners, can you please, close your eyes and hop inside a tent or something?
Yeah, they, looking worried, do so very quickly.
I'm just gonna walk up to her, get my sword. Any last words before I send you off to God?
She closes her eyes as if accepting and just kind of holds her neck opens her.
God doesn't exist. Your life is a lie. He says as soon as Helios swings his sword.
Really gonna
Sure,
kill
I'm
me?
just gonna whisper to her, not your god, my god, and then, you know.
Okay.
There's no God.
As you take this figure, the body slumps down onto the ground. Are you... The figure next to you, the priest, kind of looks down, trying to kind of not appear to be too phased by this.
Helios is gonna pull his gag out as well. So, your god, Gary the Ocean, how are you planning to summon him?
You refer to All Hydra. You should show reverence when the name leaves your filthy lips.
Would
Yeah,
that
Gary
not
the
mean
Ocean.
anything to me?
All Hydra? Do you have any ties or knowledge of the elemental plane of water?
Probably not.
So then I would
Would-
say you could give me like a religion would be possible with a very high DC.
Would the fact I'm an Azamar do anything for that, or not really?
It's not so much. They're not so much gods and forces
Not
of
as well,
nature, so not
yeah.
really.
Yeah, I know Jack.
Yeah.
Would
doesn't-
Helios, would Alexander know? Because he's known about the air elementals and all that.
So I would. Okay, I would say I would accept Arcana as well. Religion and history would also make sense if anyone's proficient in those.
I am proficient in Arcana. I'm a wizard, of course. I'm proficient in Arcana.
So, 19 is not high enough to get sufficient information. As much as you are aware, it's some kind of powerful spirit on the plane of water.
Yeah, you know that's not a god, right? That's just a wibbly wobbly water spirit, right?
You have obviously never experienced the primordial forces of nature. There are beings on the elemental planes much stronger and older than anything here.
That doesn't make them a god, though. They're a force of nature. A being existing outside our knowledge doesn't make them a god.
Think what you will. It means little when you are washed away with the rest of the scum.
Tell me, how are common folk scum? Where you're the one going around killing.
Oh, common folk are not so much scum. It's more the grouped up plague of gnats, these cities, these scabs on the earth. This is what we
So
wish.
you are an eco-terrorist, is what I'm getting here.
This phrase means nothing to me, but we will bring back the earth to its more primal state, when nature, the true god, is the true ruler.
Yeah, man. Who hurt you?
You will feel the end soon, my friends.
I've already experienced it once. It's not that fun. Anyway,
I think
Tell
they
me.
would perk up from digging. Like, should I dig enough space for this one as well? Kind of annoyingly.
yes, please. No, we're not going to kill you yet. We still have a few more questions. Whereabouts is your home base located, please?
He shrugs.
Okay, if you want to bring the Earth back to the watery state, we met a man covered in stone, preaching about how this some stone is the true god and all the other gods are false. I think he said stone ruled, water drooled.
How
Do you know
dare
anything
he?
about this
I
man?
spit on his mother. The figure does kind of, you see a flash of recognition, kind of just a little raising of the eyebrow, not much, but more than you've seen on this guy's face as far as expressions go. Yes, he sounds like one of the dogs that while away in the mud up in the hills in the Dessarin Valley.
Well,
yeah.
do you have an actual location for them? We could wipe out one of the competitive to your god.
He shakes his head. Some monastery, fairly near the river. We haven't. We stay away from them, and they stay away from us.
Now tell me, who's your leader? Who's your grand priest or whatever? I'd like to meet him.
My commander is Mr. Grimjaw, protector of the Dessarin River from Riverguard Keep. He smiles.
Well, that's kind of counterproductive now, don't you think? Well, I guess we're not on the river, so no, he might be protecting the river. Tell me, do you guys do burial by sea? Do you guys want your body returned to the ocean?
Do what you would with my body. It is unimportant.
Cool. One more thing. When you die and you realize that your god is not a god, just a unthinking creature, what do you plan to do?
I would ask you the same thing. If I were
I've already... Sorry for cutting you off.
No problem. I would be received like a king in the realm of the hereafter. Yes, that's what he seems to believe.
He's got to get right up to the priest and goes, you know, I've died once. There's nothing after this. It's just blackness. Just the rot and decay. Then he pulls away.
Okay. He'll stare back at you and with kind of a final breath, just hail or Hydra.
Yeah, Nazi bullshit. Kill him, please, Helios.
Do we know who this deity he's referring to is? I mean, do we know something?
All you know is that it's a strong, most likely a strong force on the elemental plane of water, some kind of powerful elemental, something like that.
Okay.
Helios, you know.
Do it yourself. I'm not your lapdog.
Fine then.
Not...
He's gonna pull out the dead he found at the thing and slit the guy's throat.
And it doesn't make any sound.
As he drops to the ground, you see water. It looks like salt water start to kind of gush from the wound as he kind of kicks and splutters and eventually falls still in a puddle around him of salt water.
It was actually a fish. Neat.
I mean, he was bleeding. Not that his body was full of salt water, but it was just quite a strange thing in general.
He's going to start searching to see if he has a spellbook or arcane focus of some sort.
Yeah, he would have an arcane focus. It would be most likely some kind of like a piece of like a shell,
Conch shell.
Nutriments from the ocean, or little runes carved into the enamel of the shell.
He's gonna put that into his bag.
Sure. Yeah. And he was wearing a chain shirt. Just so you're aware, the Reavers they had shields. If you want those. And the bandits have short swords and scimitars and light crossbows.
Should I add it to the preparation? Should we someone else doing it?
Yeah, why
Just
don't
get
you
this-
add it to the party loot?
Yeah, I'll let
Hmm.
it.
Alexander's gonna attempt to pull the body to the hole that Dave's digging. Just.
I'm not
God.
helping you. I'm upset that we even killed them. So.
X, give me a head. I'm gonna pop a fucking blood vessel.
Watching the bandits. And I'm going to tell the bandits, those guys were fanatics. You will all accompany us to what's town with the W name again? Womble.
Womford.
Womford. We will turn you guys into the authorities at Womford. Your lives are not forfeit.
They're not. If they're not gagged, giving you their thanks, promising that they won't give you any more problems.
I'm just gonna see one thing. Sorry, that's not it. How far can I get a body with 11 strength? 11 strength roll.
And it would. You can get it as far as you want with enough time.
Just slowly drag the body. Come on,
Yeah, you can't like
goddamn wizard.
slip.
Yeah.
Everything's wet. It was just raining.
So I'm just going to be taking these bodies to the grave myself, eh? So this is my next 3 hours.
I'll help them. I'll help you.
Thank you, X.
So clearing the rest, you kind of tie up the bandits, and what are you just gonna leave them out in the open tonight, or shove them all into one of the tents?
Probably
Shove them into one of the tents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Someone
we're
can get
gonna-
sick.
I think we're going to need 2 guards. 1 guard shift in the tents, 1 looking outside. So probably 2
Alexander will
people
put his
per
hand up for the
shift.
first shift.
I mean, if we're already next to the commoners, maybe we can make some use of them. One of them can help us at least watch the bandits. Doesn't need to do anything. Just keep watch of them.
Good idea.
Okay. Well, let's see. 2 of them are still fairly fit and healthy. They will, they will do some rounds.
The third one I will heal with my lay on hands
Okay,
as much
nice.
as needed. Yeah.
Twisted ankle is kind of 2 or 3 health points missing. Not much.
All right. I'll take 5. Super heal.
Nice.
Yeah.
And okay, so you kind of settle in the campsite here, your new campsite that you've kind of taken from these water cultists and bandits. Anything else that you want to get done tonight? It's pretty late at this point. What, 9, 10?
Alexander's just going to collect his ring that he left inside the hay.
Easy enough.
And your spider.
He's going to stay inside the hay for now.
Oh.
Or stay on the cart.
Comfortable.
Hmm.
So there's a bit of extra goods as well that isn't from the recently robbed wagon that you guys could, free if you were so minded.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If it's not from the commoners we have with us.
Yeah, it would be from some of the unfortunate souls a bit earlier on than that. And basically, you can find a bit of trade goods that were being brought along the road. Looks to be some kind of textiles, fabrics, about 3 crates. You're not really sure how much you could get for it. That's up to you if you want to even take it with you.
It goes on the cart with the horses. It's fine.
As long as the horses are capable of pulling all the weight, we'll take everything we can.
Yeah, you might have to avoid spending much time traveling on the cart with the horses. You guys will just have to do a bit of walking alongside.
We're healthy. We can walk.
Okay, give me some perception checks then, as you guys try to settle in, get a bit of rest for the coming trip to Womford.
Just a moment. I didn't save the party sheet. I just wrote it in, so I need to rewrite it now.
Oblivious.
God, our perceptions are so great.
Wow.
Oh, beautiful.
I see everything. Don't worry, guys.
It's like one bandit was
I
out taking
see.
a piss and he comes back and like James Bonds everybody.
That's how we die.
Mission-
TPK
Mission
from one bandit.
Impossible.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, you motherfuckers.
so keeping an eye out. It's a pretty cold night, unfortunately. A bit of a wind picks up, and with the recent rain, everything is damp, causing this kind of really icy howling to take place in the coldest hours of the morning. As you huddle for what little warmth you can around the campsite, you don't really want to do much patrolling or really much of anything. You just kind of huddle, keeping an eye out, listening for the signs of anything, but as comfortable and as warmly as you could possibly do. And for the most part, the light is pretty poor as the cloud cover covers the bit of moon that is probably about 3/4 full at this point. But nothing seems to bother your sleep. You kind of hear a couple of wolves howling off in the distance, maybe a problem for the shepherds, but most likely not for you here in the campsite. And eventually, the light of dawn begins to crack into a grey sky, showing mostly overcast and cold, muggy atmosphere, but a new day dawns. You can see one of the commoners kind of wake up from where he was sleeping, keeping watch from of the bandits, kind of look inside as fast as he can, and I mean the bandits are kind of all collapsed over each other, probably going to cramp like hell as they've been tied in these strange, not very comfortable sleeping positions. But you all come to, and the camp is, unmolested, except for what you have done yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Alexander's gonna take the time in the morning to take down all the tents and scour the area, make it inhospitable.
Okay, just
Like turn up all the ground, destroy all the tents that were there. Just so if another group of bandits come back here, they have a bit more of a rough time.
I mean, that would take hours
Hmm.
to kind of turn up all the soil here. It's like a 60-foot patch.
I don't think we want to spend a whole day
He'll
doing
just,
this.
yeah, he'll just destroy all the tents then.
Who knows if a bandit will come here or just a group of
Yeah.
like wanderers? It's
Sure.
fine. Just let
Well,
them have this area.
Well,
Hopefully, the
Alexander's
mass
like
waves-
in the middle of preparing to like burn everything. Yeah, that's a
How
probably
much
good point.
how much are tents worth if we can sell it with
Ooh,
the other
that's a
loot?
good point. More money.
you would probably have to wash these tents before you could sell them.
Well, we're going towards the river, aren't we?
It's not like they've seen some action.
He goes into one and like leaves immediately. Yeah, let's not bring this one. It's everything in it's crusty. I
Also,
don't want to think that. Hmm?
You said there
That-
were other. Oh, sorry.
No, what you gonna say?
You said there were other goods. I don't know how to write that. Like, do we know what?
3 crates of cloth.
Oh, sorry, I missed that part. Okay.
No problem. So tents, 2-person tents sell for 2 gold pieces each. You're looking at probably maybe half a gold for a second-hand tent.
No.
5 silver.
Are we carrying this for 5 silver?
And washing
Are we
it.
this petty?
Well, don't you have prestidigitation?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, good point.
So, each of the strongest people carry the tent on your back. I'll prestidigitation it when we walk.
Are we really gonna
Spend the time.
carry this? Just
Well,
A penny earned, penny saved is a penny earned.
let's get you back on the map.
Yeah, spell books are expensive, armor is expensive. We need to save up.
Scavenge everything. So those clothes the bandits are looking, how much do you think they're worth? Nothing.
So I found this cool walk. How much of this work now? Let's see.
Wait, we have 4 bandits. They can carry the tents.
Well, if you wish, that is up to you. But regardless, there is a bit of a necessity to get onto the road, as there's still a fairly long trip up ahead.
Yep.
You look about another 18 miles to get to Womford. So I'm just going to add the Reaver ambush here. Although you kind of arrived after the ambush by chance. So, anything you want to do before you leave this site behind? Or are you ready to continue?
Give a little prayer for the dead people.
Yeah, I think we're ready.
Very well. So as you kind of set out with the dark sky overhead, not allowing much of the sunlight to arrive, you can see a couple of wagons are already setting out from Womford, most likely heading back to the major trade routes with crushed grain, ready to be sold as flour, and you fair amount of people, regular folk, couple with wagons of their own, all kind of look a bit, definitely a bit hesitant, as I imagine you have a couple of people strung out behind your wagon, like all roped together and tied.
Carrying tents.
Carrying tents. No one really seems to want to bother you too much, and they keep to themselves, heading past with a nod and a face downturned. You eventually get to the point where kind of been walking for the most of the morning, getting towards midday, and you can see that the barge ride in is coming up ahead, pretty much on a hillside nearby. It's just like a single building that looks to be of a pretty decent size, a kind of place to rest in the middle of the Dessarin Valley for travelers. But you see the bridge over the Dessarin River and the town of Womford along the edge of the Dessarin River, with a couple of docks, 1 or 2 ships, smaller vessels, nothing too large, a couple of barges float down the river every now and again, carrying goods from Yata down to some of the larger cities. But as you approach the barge right in, you can see a couple of people through the front of the building. Looks to be like a tap room. A couple of people are drinking ale. And it's only about 2 p.m. in the afternoon, but do you wish to stop here at the barge right in, or do you wish to kind of push forward onto Womford as fast as possible?
I think we need to deliver the bandits first, who can't really stop and have a drink. We need some tied up.
Leave the dogs outside. I mean, the bandits. Yeah. No, let's just push forward.
We have horses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Okay. Carrying on, pushing forward past the barge right in, you see the town of Womford beginning to slowly and steadily become more into view. Let's just get my notes open here.
So, Womford is where we got heard that the base of operations for these bandits were. That and the group of them that are in Citadel up north. We need to search around and see if we can add any information for it.
So you come to the tiny village of Womford as you kind of go across the rickety bridge, hearing your cart kind of echo out the sounds along the bridge construction, the old wood. You make it over in short order to see a tiny village with a dock on the Dessarin River that mostly exists for the shipping of grain, pretty much without the mill there. most likely wouldn't be here at all. But aside from the mill, the village consists of a handful of granaries, a larger handful of cottages, several of which house tiny little local shops. And from what you've heard, according to the tales, it was renamed after apparently a dragon was stayed nearby. It used to be known as Womford. Now, due to the kind of local accent, it's kind of changed to Womford. And as you kind of say hello to some of the nearby people, you don't feel the same atmosphere as you did in Redlock. The couple of civilians you can see maybe look a bit more hard done by, don't see as much trade through the city, and they're not as openly friendly, kind of some of them looking shrewdly at you guys, maybe one or two hesitantly waving. But you can see a little kind of boy and girl that are chasing each other through one of the plots nearby and kind of stop to look in awe as the strange group of people kind of pulls into town.
Alexander once again is gonna minor illusion of like fireworks and flowers as they go past the kids.
Oh, you see them kind of in awe, looking at each other, and as you're kind of pulling past, I think that guy's a wizard. Are you a wizard, mister? Welcome to Womford, please. I kind of start running.
Yeah, I'm a wizard. Do you want to see some tricks?
Yes, show us more magic.
He's gonna like go through, cast a few minor illusion, use a message on them,
Nice.
and like a few like small little things to entertain them.
It takes a while. I mean, you quickly gather a few little kids there, and it's actually a bit difficult to disperse them afterwards. Until you hear kind of one of the more fed up local mothers, all right, you lot, get back to work. Nothing is going to be gained by bothering those nice travelers there. If you're looking for the granaries, and she kind of points you off in the right direction, towards the dock, basically. Just disperse.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. So I've got a very rough map of the town here. This map probably looks a bit nicer than the town is in actuality. It's a bit of an older model.
Oh, it's a very small town.
Yes.
So
I mean, the scale, I uploaded this myself. The scale's probably not right.
Oh, I see.
There's the scales at the bottom you can see there. I probably should have changed it. My bad.
No, you're fine. Okay,
So-
times 3.
he's Alexander's gonna go up to the lady and go, do you know where we could drop off these bandits? Do you have any police force? Anything like that here?
She looks over at them and she scoffs. They're pretty much are the police force here. Goddamn underhanded swines run the place, robbing all the river trade and overly taxing all the granaries.
I'm sorry. What? So your police force is ignoring the pirates?
Our police force is non-existent. We don't have a police force. Town isn't big enough. No one wants to do the job.
What do we do with these guys?
Do what you want. Let them go. They'll just go back to what they've been doing this whole time. That's how it is at Womford. No one gives a shit. She kind of turns and starts to walk away.
Pleasure speaking with you.
That's some civic pride
Was-
there.
Lovely. So, my four friends. What should we do with you?
I like her idea.
I like this one. I like you. Anybody else? Are we just gonna drag them back to Red Lodge? They already have enough bandits and shit to deal with.
I mean, we can't
Are any of you from around here?
They're all from that fucking.
Two of them nod.
Are they all?
I mean, they
Where
might
you guys
be
from?
working at Riverguard Keep, but some of these are locals.
So you decided to stop helping out your town and instead join a bandit lord for what? Bit of coin.
I say we drop them off at these guys' mothers and let their mothers deal with them.
That's a good idea. The two who put their hands up that saying that they're from here, he's like, so where's your old home?
One of them will mutter that his burnt down. The other will kind of point in general direction to further into town.
We'll go to your place first. I'm gonna start leading the guy to his mother's house.
As you're walking deeper into the town, kind of into the central court, the town center, you see a couple of people kind of loitering in various areas, talking to each other. Some townsfolk, some maybe a bit more sketchy looking. But the bandit you are escorting, you won't find anything there. She died long time ago, when I was a child.
Oh, damn
I
it!
feel really bad for them. I feel like we can't let them go, but we also shouldn't torture them like this. This is cool.
I was straight up actually planning to hand him over to his mother. Like, that was a serious plan.
You think anyone would turn to this kind of life if they had a loving mother waiting for them at home? People
I
here
did.
born with nothing. They get nothing.
And why did you become a bandit? Why didn't you try to improve the town?
It's never brought anything. Lots of people have tried. At least this way we get a bit of coin. We can send something back for the people even.
And you decide to join a guy who either eats pigs with huge tusks or fuck pigs inside his room.
I don't know, you're
At
a
least
very
you didn't join the cult.
judging individual. Whoever's got coin is, in this day and age, I don't really have much leeway.
I'm not judging you for what you're doing, just who you're doing it for. Have a little pride in who you work for, come on.
Oh, you got any better contacts for me?
Oh, mine are dead. Yeah, slaughtered like fucking pigs.
Yeah, work
Adventures,
for
man.
what's the name of the other town we worked at? We were at?
Red Lock.
Yeah, just
Red
go
Lodge.
there. Go there and work
Yeah,
for
how many would like to be a police officer?
I mean, he didn't expect that as a question. I think is a bit doesn't know really what to say. They would never trust him, is probably what he would say.
Well, you'd be a quarryman. Working at stone quarries.
I mean, he'd rather work in the quarry than go to jail, if that's the ultimatum here.
Well, see, there's already another group of bandits we ran into who said they were from Womford as well. That we set up to pay off their debt to society by working in the mines. Maybe we can get the same deal for you lot.
Yeah, turn Redlock into the first town built on slave labor.
Let's go.
It's not so much slave labor as
Just joking, yeah.
what's
It's
the
like
term that the
more,
Americans use?
A correctional facility, and if you just happen to get money from them, then you know.
Yeah. What is the thing, the chain gang? What is it actually called? Where they have convicts working on things.
Yeah.
No, I just don't know.
I know what you mean, and they pay them a couple of cents an hour. A lot of
Yeah.
prisons are like that. It's an American thing, I think.
Yeah.
Forced labor.
In Australia, you just stay in the fucking cell.
In South Africa,
Yeah.
you just get stabbed.
Same here.
Anyway, So what's the plan from here? You guys are in the center of town. You've got your cart of grain. You know the granaries are here. The mill's up here, where the kind of the water powers the grinding wheel. You can see a couple of carts are outside already. Looks like there's a bit of a line.
So, will somebody hop in line to start this milling? Save us spot.
Sure. Dave will get in line.
Like I said, just going to join them for a bit.
Okay. Anything the rest of you would like to do? You can see that. I mean, you've got a couple of people tied up. You're drawing a couple of looks from the people around town. Not all, probably not all friendly civilians, yeah.
Well, too bad.
Um,
Yeah, to deal with it.
As you
maybe
are,
while
yes.
maybe while they're dealing with the grain, I'll bring the bandits to the church, see if the priest has any better suggestions.
Well, I always find righteous fury the best when dealing with people like these. Smite them hard, and they don't come crawling back out of the woodwork. Womford's had more than enough of its share of troubles, and we could surely do without any more. I've a gallows in the back, if you need.
Well, the I'll leave the justice to you. They most recently attacked travelers from Womford. I'm sure they will be back in a few days, and
Have they murdered?
there were people who were murdered. I don't know if any of these four did the murdering.
They start shaking their heads in the negative. Well, I do not feel comfortable with you leaving them with me, to be honest. I'm no man of the law. I can bring down the religious fury if necessary, but I would require assistance.
What type of assistance?
Yeah, getting the nooses hung up, ladders, that kind of thing. I'm not as spry as I once was.
Oh, so your plan is just to execute them?
He nods. Look, we don't have the resources for any kind of rehabilitation around here. Robbery is almost a norm. It is hard enough for me to keep my doors open. I don't know what you expect from me.
Understood. I'll keep that as plan B.
You can see he does have a short sword at his side in a scabbard. You've noticed that kind of everyone that you've seen in town has some kind of dagger or club or something.
I'm just gonna walk into the looks like the clearing there in front of the church. Loudly proclaim to the people walking about. These four bandits were captured on the road between here and Redlock. They participated in the attack of merchants. I leave their justice to the town. I just walk away with the four of them still tied together.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
We wouldn't hear that, right?
No, we're at the grain rig.
Yeah. Oh, too bad.
So as you walk away, you do see a couple of townsfolk are kind of stepping forward. Like a step towards them, kind of looking around, not really wanting to be the first. Do you kind of stay and watch the aftermath, or you just do that and leave?
No, don't care.
Okay.
I'm saying, I'm watching.
A couple of figures come close. Townsfolk, you can see that they're angry, kind of like pitchforks vibes. But there's many people stationed around the courtyard as well that are watching the situation keenly and maybe a bit more sketchy looking. You can see a couple of those stepping forward as well, and you can see the townfolk are aptly aware that um, there are people among them who are most likely bandits or people not to mess with if you don't want to wake up with a knife in your back. And you can already see some of the civilians slowing down, and no one wanting to be at the front really, which kind of causes a stalemate. And after like half a minute to a minute or two of standing there, the figures that you've left start to look around, trying to kind of spot anyone that they recognize, and begin moving off into the crowd.
Well, good for them.
Now, let's see here. You at the waiting in line with all the other kind of farmers. You can see a lot of like nervous people looking around. It would seem this is like the closest mill in a while, in a long while. So a lot of the nearby farms do rely on this place. Looks like the farmers bring extra caravan guards when they come here. You can see all the carts kind of very well surrounded and being watched over. It takes about half an hour to an hour to kind of process each cart. So they can only do a couple each day, not too many. But you're definitely going to be seen in a little bit. There's like 2 or 3 carts ahead of you. You can see. You want to give me perception checks while you guys are waiting in line? You're welcome to do so. Or if there's anything else, if you want to talk to people or anything like that, you're welcome to say.
No, I'll just keep an eye out for stuff. Any
The
suspicious
perception
stuff?
boys.
Okay, so as you're looking around, Helios, I think with the 13, you would probably notice a couple of, like a group talking amongst themselves, walking back from the town square. They look shady, and they don't seem to be making any effort to hide it, although a fair few people in this town are. But as you kind of watch this group, they head back to one of the largest ships at the docks. As you kind of head to the other side of the cart, just to kind of keep an eye where they're heading to. There's a larger boat there, like a kind of a keel boat that you see them board and disappear underneath. And a strange figure on top that follows them. Let's see, how far away is that? Not that far at all, in fact.
I'm a fisherman.
So to speak, his skin is blue. Not necessarily, you don't see fins or gills, but his skin is blue.
When that's not a normal
Oh.
color.
Severe hypothermia.
And so you've probably seen them around Faerun once or twice, kind of descendants from elemental backgrounds. It looks like a genasi.
Oh.
Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see anything interesting?
Just a blue man. Can I just like turn to one of the other caravans like around us? Go like, who was that? Do you guys know who that was?
Most of the people kind of look away, not wanting to get involved. But one of the guards glances over. He looks at the figures you're talking about, kind of as they step below. Don't know his name, but he reeks to be of one of the bandits that work around here on the river. Thieves, snakes, all of them.
I might
Maybe
have
I'll
a
go
solution to that.
have a chat with them at some point.
Alexander pulls out his ring. Do you want me to make sure they don't slip away?
They're not going anywhere. They think they own the town. They have no reason to run.
They immediately pull out and start leaving. Oh, never mind.
We run the town now. No.
So, I mean, most of the traffic in the town comes from the outlying farms that kind of wagon into town to use the mill. Most of the people that stay in town are either, people that run the various small shops and buildings, or the more unsavory lots, or kind of the general homeless and woebegone.
You know how when we told the captain that we would deal with the one-foot bandit problem?
Mm-hmm.
If we did that, we would just be practically burning down this town.
That's
Like
fine.
90% of them.
Sometimes you have to begin again.
Yeah, but this grain mill is very important for the town. There's not enough people to look after it. Bandits wants it running. Then, well, Red Larch suffers as well. Unless we can get them to expand, turn Womford into Red Larch 2 Electric Boogaloo. Then, well, we're a bit of a pinch. Because we would wipe out every bandit in this town. That's like a good 2/3 of it.
So we might just need to find the head, figure out who's in charge, and just take, maybe if we cut off the head, everyone else will just sort of disperse and find other employment.
Well, we can't just take out the head. We have to take down officer's second in command. His command structure itself, not just... It wouldn't be one person running the entire thing. It'd have to be 4 or 5. Or else one of them would just start jostling for power.
Still better than trying to just take out the whole town, right?
Yeah, that was not an actual plan. That was me being facetious. So, we have suspect number 1 as the leader of the bandits, Mr. Blue. Now we just have to find out any other ones.
I think we'll have enough time to do that. Let's just finish this grain thing.
It takes you, if you want to wait for it to be complete, you'd have to be waiting here for another hour and a half.
I would stay. I want to make sure we
Is
do
it possible to leave it here and just come back?
You see all the other caravan guards kind of look at you with a amused gesture. If you want to come back to an empty wagon.
Yep,
Well,
I'm staying.
And do you really think they would mess with Dave here?
I make an angry face.
He looks
like a
large
puppy.
enough to kind of scare them away. Most of them are not heavy bandits so much as opportunistic and desperate.
To be fair, Dave is an ex-soldier, so he's not like he can look menacing if he wants to.
Yeah.
All Alexander sees when Dave looks menacing is a puppy.
Okay.
He has a very skewed perspective of things.
So, those of you not staying by the cart, is there anything you wish to get done here in Womford? It's pretty late in the day. You're probably one of the last carts to be seen, as you have to travel most of the day to get here. It'll probably be about 3-4 p.m.
Alexander's going to stick with Dave.
Sure.
We can play cards. Actually, have cards.
I guess I'll try to sell the scimitar, light crossbow, crates, shield. I actually want to pick
don't
up
forget the tents.
myself, and sort of ask around the vendors about the bandit issue and who's in charge.
Oh, 1 second. Oh, sneezing. Whew. Okay. So let's see here. There's a bit of a bric-a-brac shop. You see
Think of that.
Terega supplies. There's not really a blacksmith here. They get. I mean, there's a backyard blacksmith, but there isn't like an official blacksmith selling pre-stocked goods. So selling here, you're probably gonna be offered about
Pretty
30
low.
to 40% of the original buy price.
Um,
Which is okay. So wait, what are you selling the scimitars?
light crossbow, crates of cloth, one shield.
So scimitars are 25 gold pieces. So you'd probably get about 9 gold a scimitar.
I guess we'll wait. Although I will pick up a quarter staff for myself.
Yeah, that's easy enough to do. You're looking at 2 silver pieces.
Sold.
Okay. And anything else you guys want to do as the day goes by? Okay.
Play
Oh,
cards.
then
You see that the large boat that you guys are keeping an eye on, it does actually begin to make preparations. Looks like it's going to pull out into the river.
Alexander, as soon as he sees it start making preparations, he's gonna start heading towards it.
Okay, well, that's up to you. There's not many people hanging around the docks. Those kind of look like they're involved with the various ships there. On the other docks further down, there's very little work being done at this time. A couple of last-minute loading and unloading. But yeah, as you approach, are you kind of openly moving towards the boat?
Yeah, he's being open about it.
Okay, you can see that there looks to be quite a well-armored halfling that is busy packing up some crates from the docks to begin moving them across onto the boat. This blue-skinned individual is giving orders from on top of the deck, and you can see 1 or 2 other figures moving around on the ship, busy at work.
Who's in charge of this boat?
You see the blue-skinned individual look over at you, and that would be me. Shola, at your service. He gives you a toothy smile. Yeah, I've got actually a handout for you. And as he smiles, you can see, maybe a bit unnervingly, his teeth are a bit pointed.
Alexander, it's a pleasure.
We know what the swords were made of.
Alexander, I heard you're the person to speak to about the bandits on the ocean. Well, on this little river.
I'm not quite sure what you're getting at, friend.
A deal is what I'm getting at.
I'm listening.
There's some people bad for both of our business. At least 2 sets of cults have popped up. They're dangerous for everybody. They're planning to destroy it, all humanity. That means no more business for you, no more living for me.
Nobody wants that.
Exactly. So we ran into 2 different ones. One said worship the earth, some great being. The other worship old Hydra. You know, the elemental, powerful one from the plane of water.
I can't
They
say
both seem to want. It doesn't matter who they actually are. They're planning to summon it into this mortal realm. And, well, that's going to be bad.
My
All
friend,
I'm saying is,
a simple ship captain. I think what you are saying sounds like business far above my head.
all I'm saying is he's going to minor illusion up the faces of the people, like both the cult leaders and the priests and all that. If you see people similar to this, don't deal with them. Try to get rid of them.
You can. The smile kind of fades a little bit as he looks down at the images. seeing you kind of bring up these illusions, but he nods. I will keep this in mind. Look easy enough to recognize.
Yeah, the fucking freaks is what they are. Be careful of the Earth one. He knows how to shadow, if you know what that is. It's a spell and can cause severe structural damage to things. Being on a boat, that's a bigger threat to you.
Of course. Although thankfully the river Dessarin is fairly merciful, I will keep my eye on the shore.
I have one other proposition for you, if you don't mind the time.
If it involves gold, I'm all ears.
We're looking for the bases of both these people. I want you to keep your eyes out. Keep your ears on the ground. Talk to people you know. See if you can find them for me. If you manage to do that, well, 500 gold will be yours.
How much?
500.
That was out of character, by the way. I am not there, but okay.
You offer a lot of coin. Do you have the bank to back it up?
Of course I do.
They know something about this soldier of stone you talk about.
Mhm. Well, out with it.
Well, first, what's it worth to you? I may know where you can find a figure like this.
5 gold to begin with. If it comes out to be true, 250. And 250 for the water fox. Seems fair.
Chances I'll never see you again. How do I know I'm going to get my payment?
He pulls out the ring that he can always sense and goes, "This was my father's. The only thing I have left of him, the only thing I care about in this world. It's been with me my entire life. Collateral."
He nods to the figure on the boat, on the wharf that kind of walks over to take, like, be the middleman, take it from you and hand it to him.
He stops him for a second, goes, "I would appreciate it back in one piece, so don't try breaking it apart or, scavenging it. Very important."
Nods. But all right, I suppose we can do business. He starts to walk down to stand on the deck and kind of gestures you to take a look as he turns around and kind of reaches into one of the alcoves nearby, pulling out some river maps showing the Dessarin River, the Dessarin Valley. And let's get you back on the Dessarin Valley map. Okay, so he points down here. So we are at Womford, and the barges all come from Yata or beyond, mostly from Yata. You will find somewhere in the center of the Samba Hills, kind of points to over here, is a monastery. Strange folk, they don't go out much. They've paid me for work once or twice. They pay well. They pay extra well if you don't ask any questions.
Most people do.
A knowing smile. But they call it something along the lines of the Sacred Stone Monastery.
Alexander, leans back up and saying, "Thanks a lot. You don't know how much this will help me out." And he hands over the 5 gold.
When you confirm that it's there, I expect the rest of my payments, and I'll keep this for now. He tucks the ring in.
I am a man of my word.
He nods. And so, two things on the map. You will now know the location of the Sacred Stone Monastery, which lies roughly here. So I'm just getting. There we go. Sacred Stone Monastery, and just while you are being showed this, um, you can see you notice something else, where there's another marking off of Riverguard Keep. You notice there's kind of a crudely drawn hand symbol over where the keep's location is, and it's one of these strange symbols that you've been seeing around. And I think it's one that you haven't seen yet, in fact.
I'm still baffled. You offered him 500 gold.
Well, he's not planning to pay him.
Yeah, but
It's not planning to
I
fucking
feel like
pay
in
him.
negotiations you don't usually like start with like you start like small. You don't start 500. It's like you're saying like, okay, I need information about someone. I offer you like $500,000. Like like what the hell?
Well, I'm planning to kill him, so you know.
Well, no, we're
So-
planning to slip him first. Sorry. Yeah.
No, I'm just going to share the symbol with you. And I've put all of these in the play folder in journal.
As soon as he sees it, he's gonna be like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, another one."
Yeah. It's a broken sand, like hourglass.
Sideways
Hey,
dead
do you know what
Kennedys.
this? Do you know what this symbol means? They've been popping up all over the fucking place. Well, one similar to it at least.
Immediately starts to look a bit guarded. He starts to put the map away. That is not something that is for discussion.
What?
That works for me.
And he would call, "Come, Pike. We need to get onto the water soon. Finish what you're doing there."
He. I wish you safe trip.
Nods and kind of heads back further into the boat. You can see a couple of the other figures still, like hired hands, really moving around, packing last minute things. Do you depart the dock?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk back to the grain. The cart.
Sure. So your grain's busy being processed, and it's getting to the point where, another couple of minutes, 10, 20 minutes, is going to start. It's going to be ready.
You. Well, I found the location of the stone bastards.
Oh, nice. Anything else?
I found out another weird symbol. Looks like a broken hourglass. Top's missing. Just an X with a line on the bottom. That's on the Riverbank Keep. You know where that weird guy is.
Yeah.
And I may have promised 500 gold to our pirate.
Is that a lot?
Depends on your point of view. Days? A little bit. Gold? Yes. And no.
What?
On the bright side, I'm pretty sure Helios was planning to kill him anyway.
Shame. But I mean, it is also getting late, so you are either going to have to camp in the surrounds, or you could possibly inquire at the tavern in town, the inn nearby, for a place to spend the night. Or if you feel safer out in the open, that's also up to you. But I think, for the most part, unless there's something you're very eager to get your teeth into, we're going to be wrapping up the session here for today.
Sounds
Yep.
good to me.
Awesome. And then we'll come back to if you guys get up to anything in Womford, or if you just get the hell out of Dodge with your cargo.
And my debt.
And more questions. Thanks for playing, guys. Hope you had some fun, and I'll see you next time.
Thank
You
you.
see you next time.
Yeah. See you.
Next
See ya.
time.
Cheers, cheers.
Fucking 500 gold. You're crazy. I really don't understand it.
It had to be a number high enough that they would jump for, but low enough
Yeah,
that they would be like, wait, there's no way this person has it.
Did you have to go for like like twice, like more than